Hello, I am Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. Welcome back to another random street vlogging, and today we are going to be hammering on the street by street issues happening in our homeland and why we need to turn things around. Recently, a guy was going around the street in Onitsha and saw the mess. And the mess, what I mean the mess is the environment. How the whole place is littered by sand, and some of the roads, the drainages a lot of them are left open, and there are a lot of smelly bins not taken, and even some area in Ngige Hillview estate, a new estate, left unkept. Some of the bins were left, the rubbish were left near the roads, nobody to pack it. The waste disposal or the waste collection was not anything to write home. But the guy said that he came to notice that they started taking some of the waste, but yeah, but there's it's like a trash in the it's a drop, like a drop in the ocean. They have not actually scratched the surface, as he said, and that's why we are here. And when we heard about these things, we said we are going to discuss this, because over and over again we have become environmentalists, fighting to get our governor and the politicians to understand that a clean environment is a win-win situation. It will improve our homeland, it will improve the health of many, it is going to create so much jobs, it's going to give so many things, revenue, massive revenue to the government. But at the moment, the government is still not serious about environment. But that's why we are here, to make sure that they take notice and get the environment up and running. So, but before we do, remember to like, comment, and share. I am still Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. So the question you'll be asking, what will the government or the governor, Professor Gov.Soludo of Anambra State, what can he do to make Onitsha, Oka, Nnewi, and the Ekwulobia to be very clean or spot clean? And how long will it take him to do this? So that's the two questions I'm going to answer. And by answering these things, it will help us to move forward in what we want to achieve, making our homeland a livable, prosperous homeland. So what can the governor do? Some people say to me, if you're a governor, what will you do? I say the number one thing I will do is to not just making laws only. I will make laws on environment that will hold everybody responsible for keeping their environment clean, and what they need to do and what not to be done. So what I mean is that I will make a law that will say that you must have so number of trees in every compound. The standard is to have 4 or 5 trees in your compound, in front of your house. The next one is to make sure that your house are swept. And all these things has a punitive measures. If you don't do it, there are people that will come and fine you and take you to environmental court, and you pay a spot fine. And the minimum standard you must have in your home, in your compound, will be will be shown, and I will show it around, tell people the markets and all those things. This is what need to be achieved. So the second one is that not just making a law. The government, me being the governor or being the government, I must make sure that I create a way to take away the rubbish, waste collection, refuge collection. I mean home to home, and putting things that are designated for people, so that people don't need to pour bin everywhere. And I must educate people that they should not be throwing waste everywhere. And also I will actually encourage incentives like prize money, so that people will know that if their environment are clean, a locality, estate, or a city or town, they are going to collect so from the government. And I also make sure that the PGs and traditional rulers are also held responsible if their locality are dirty. So these are ways I can actually create checks and balances. And the other ways I can do these things is to make sure that those lazy local government chairmen, city mayors and councillors are now, and office workers are now put in the street. And another one I'm gonna to do is to employ, to have a commissioner of environment. What I mean commissioner of environment is the one that walk in the street. Those commissioner of environment or environmental people, they will be in the street. Their main job is to be in the street. So those people will be having, maybe every 10 streets will be under supervision by so persons and so person. Those people are accountable. If the streets fail the minimum environmental test, I mean hygiene test, those people will be fired and they will be called to to answer why they fell on their duties. So this is one of the ways I can actually get this thing running. So, and not only that, I have to also make sure that I start closing the drainages, because leaving the drainages will also encourage waste going into those drainages, and it will make the drainages to be unkept. So anywhere that the drainages is a little open somewhere, I must put a wire mesh that will stop things going through the drainage and blocking it. So that's exactly what I need to do in order to get these things up and running. And that's what, as a government, need to be doing. So another thing is that to make sure that the business of recycling is encouraged and dump sites are provided, and also waste disposable vans and trucks and other things are provided. How about sweeping the roads? And those sweepers are employing a lot of people street by street to sweep the roads. And I will actually make sure that most of these roads are free of sand. So any other open areas must be grassed with carpet grass. That's part of the ways I will make sure that the dust and sand are not getting in the roads. So meaning that every street road that are still not constructed will have at least minimum of 50 or 100 feet away from the major road that are constructed or tied, must be cemented, so that to minimize the influx of sand into the major roads that are constructed. These are not rocket science. These are things that can be done. So making sure also those attachments and illegal structures that defends the environment are not allowed to be built. That it will be also a punitive, I will have to put a punitive action or punitive measures to find property owners who do that. And what happens is that they must pay the government 50,000 every month if they put any attachment in their building. So this will basically discourage people building those things. So, and also there will be fine if there's no tree in your front of your house. There will be fine. But on the part of government, the day-to-day collection of rubbish must be sustained in major populated areas, in the markets. It must be cleared, it must be taken every day. So these are not a rocket science. So these are things that can be done, and this can change the narrative. Some of these things, there are many others, can actually change the narrative and make sure that we have a better environment, clean environment. And I must also ban burning of tires, burning of all those things, waste on the streets. It must not be allowed. So now the waste collected, I will now have places that we can turn it into power generation and also metal gas, because you use waste to generate a lot of things. The government can make billions of money from generating energy, sustainable energy, both cooking gas, methane gas, and also recycled materials like metals, like plastics. These can actually generate a lot of revenue for the state and make the state much more cleaner. And also, I also encourage using of degradable material for papers that are degradable, to use them as part of the shopping bags, like shopping bags. So this, and also reusable things must be encouraged. These are things they need to do. So to make Onitsha to be clean, to make Anambra State to be clean, and to make Nigeria to be clean. These are not rocket science, but although the government and the politicians, they are not thinking on this, basically, they are basically all the time doing a symposium. They are not on the street. That's why you see Onitsha very, very dirty, sandals on the major roads. You can see there's some of the constructed roads. If you look at Opiweka, look at Port Harcourt Road, look at Niger Street, most of these roads are full of sand. Even the newly constructed River Niger, second Niger bridge, you can see the bridge road are also full of sand. They are because of not having environmental people on the streets. They are all in their offices, in their little corners, enjoying themselves, while the whole place is littered with mess. So this is what Governor Soludo of Anambra State should do. If he can achieve this, it will make people much healthier. Lesser people will be going to the streets, going to the hospital, sorry. Why there is increased rate of asthma and other airborne diseases in the states and in Nigeria is because of dirty environment. The pollution level is so high. That's why at a time, the United Nations recorded that the pollution, the toxic in the cities in Nigeria is so high, so that it need to be reduced. So these are things they need to do, and they should do it with passion, not for political sake. This is what we are asking for, and this is what needs to be done. They need to achieve a real environment wash down, I would say, or a clean environment. Let me not speak so much. I don't want to make this video so long. I'm very, very passionate about this, but I don't know if those politicians are passionate. Let's just look at this. So, thank you very much for joining us. I am still Kodili-nye, the son of the wonderful. And I hope that you will like, comment, and share to this. And try to share your own opinion. The opinion is valid in this channel. And have a wonderful time. And God bless you. Bye.